This is Jablam Hockey with your hosts, Peter Wojcicki and Paul Swinbeck. Welcome to Jablam Hockey, folks. I'm your host, Peter Wojcicki. You can find me on Twitter at Russian98, and I'm with
Paul Zwambag. You can find me on the Twitter sphere at Zwambag, ZWAMBAG. How's it going, everybody? Peter, what is up?
Not much. Not much at all.
What? It's been 2 weeks and not much is up? There's got to be something up.
Well, I mean, in the hockey world, I haven't seen a hockey game in I don't know how long.
I know. It feels like forever.
We'll talk more about the crappy schedule later on. Yeah, in terms of myself, I'm a little more focused, going back again with working out, running, etc., that kind of stuff. The weather's great outside, so it's perfect for being more active.
Nice. I'm doing the plank challenge.
What's that consist of?
30-day plank challenge. You start at like 20 seconds, next day 20 seconds, next day 30, and you build up to like a 2.5 minute plank.
Amazing. Good for you.
My wife and I, she wanted to do it, and she didn't want to do it by herself, so I agreed to do it with her.
Nice.
Yeah.
I was actually thinking of doing, and I still want to do it, but I'm still lazy. I haven't started yet. I was thinking of doing, like, everybody's kind of trying to do these, like, 30 days kind of, like, videos and stuff. I'm thinking of doing 100 days. Just a quick, short video of my working out and trying to be more active and stuff, but we'll see. I might start doing that. I might put it on YouTube. All right, let's get into it, folks. Again, jablamhockey.com. Everything's on there. Our team ISOs are on there. Our episodes are on there. And when we get to it next season, even more team ISOs. Look forward for them, right? They're going to be even more interesting. We might be getting guests on the show, so look for that. And please, if you haven't, go rate and review us on iTunes. Subscribe if you haven't. All right, what do we have this episode? Number 1, we're going to, of course, with our playoff roundups, we're going to review the third round. It's a pretty exciting series. They were really good. We're going to set up the finals. We're going to make our finals picks. Then we're also going to get into some World Cup of Hockey rosters and finish off with some Jablam Junior Hockey update. The Mem Cup just finished for us. We just watched the ending. It was pretty exciting. Go Mitch Marner. All right. Trending now first. Dustin Brown. They're going to remove his captaincy.
Yeah, that's a big, bold move.
So that means they're going to keep him, right? Like, why remove the captaincy if you're going to trade him?
Well, nobody's taking that contract.
Yeah, that's what it is. They've still got, 6 years left?
Yeah, that's ridiculous,
wow.
Yeah.
So, and I said that, remember when we were talking about the series, Dustin Brown needed to wake up. He is the heart and soul of that team. I'm not a fan of him. I think he's slightly dirty, but they need that out of him, and they needed that, and he didn't do it. They still had the potential. If he played well and he brought up his game, the other guys would have, like Doughty and the rest of them, and they still could have taken out the Sharks if they were playing their top game.
Yeah, they're going to be in cap trouble. I just pulled up their cap on General Manager. They're going to be in trouble next year.
Yeah, they're in a rough situation now.
Yeah,
and it starts with Dustin Brown. So, yeah, it's tough. Would you take, if you were a team like Arizona or something, would you take on half his contract?
Maybe.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a team that needs to get to the basement of the cap.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if LA wanted to do something like that. I wouldn't mind if I was one of those teams that wanted to hit the bottom part of the cap and needed a guy that still has good leadership qualities.
Maybe not half. Maybe like 1.8 of his 5.87.
Yeah, it's not a big cap hit, but it's pretty lengthy.
Yeah,
as well.
So who's going to be the captain then?
It's got to be Doughty.
Or Kopitar.
Yeah, or Kopitar. But you just feel with the ice time that Doughty gets, it would probably be him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll give it to Jonathan Quick.
No, that didn't
No.
work well with Luongo.
So you think they're taking a lesson from San Jose?
Yeah, for sure.
They dropping captaincy?
Yeah, give it to another younger guy who's ready to fill in those skates.
To take over the face of the franchise.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
All right. How about those Phil Kessel interviews? I love it. He's like a little kid still.
Yeah. That giggle from Pierre Maguire's interview is just hilarious.
That question was awful, though.
Oh, yeah.
How is your breath?
Oh, is it bad?
It's like...
Oh, I meant your stamina. I meant your workout regimen.
What did he expect?
What? Yeah.
Oh, man.
Pierre
It turned out
Maguire's
hilarious, though.
Pierre Maguire's brutal.
Yeah, he's pretty bad sometimes. Yeah. But that was hilarious. And apparently he had another funny one after the Penguins won. And he's like, he didn't know what to say. He was like, I don't know what to say, but this is great. This is probably the most important part of my career. I've gotten this far. It's great. Otherwise, he was baffled. He didn't know what to say. It was hilarious. Again, he's giggling like a little schoolboy again. It's great.
I'm all right with that. Keep playing awesome hockey, and you can be terrible at interviews.
I don't care. I love his interviews. They're fun.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've always...
Oh, they're genuine. They're not robotic. Yeah. They're not...
Yeah, exactly. And I love those more. I don't care if you're great on the mic or in front of the camera or anything, but if you're real and if you're awkward too, it's even better. I love it.
Yeah.
So.
It's just the media that blows everything out of proportion.
Oh, did you see that Simmons article? Oh my God!
I did not.
Wrong with this guy?
I don't read that guy. So.
Oh man, Simmons. Sometimes you need to go somewhere else. But anyways, let's go into the next thing. Round up the third round. Both of these series were great. Let's first talk about your Pens versus the Lightning. They pulled it off. The Pens pulled it off.
Yeah. But what a crazy series.
It was great. And the beginning of it with Bishop. Oh, man. That's so shocking.
At one point, they had Bishop out, Stralman out, Johnson out, Stamkos out at the beginning of the second period of the first game. Those guys were out. Johnson came back. Bishop didn't. Stralman finally came back. And Stamkos came back at the very end.
Yep.
Do you think he should have even came back? Stamkos?
No, he shouldn't have. He shouldn't have not have come back.
No, he didn't look like Stamkos out on the ice either.
He had that one good chance and shot. It was pretty good.
Yeah.
But otherwise,
it was quiet. Yeah.
I don't know if that...
And I think it disrupted the whole Tampa Bay vibe. Like
maybe. But it was just the one game. They weren't really into it that much in Game 6 as well, right? So
yeah.
I think the coach and the team wanted a spark, and they thought, maybe this will help.
Yeah.
You never know. I don't know if it would have been that much different, really. Nobody else was stepping up in either of those two games.
Oh, it scared me when you tweeted out when Bishop went down. It was like, Penguins easy got this. I was like, oh, no. Look.
You know me. I'm always joking.
I know, but it just freaked me out. I was like, if people start thinking, let's hope the Penguins don't think like this, because...
No, Vasilevsky, people even you. He's one of the future top goaltenders.
Well, he's comparative to, like, Matt Murray to Fleury. Like, Fleury's a really good goalie. Bishop's probably a better goalie.
Yeah.
But I think Murray's a better goalie than Vasilevsky, but they're still both really good young prospect goalies.
Yeah. It's hard to judge sometimes, though, right? We've had some other goalies that just didn't make it. Even Markstrom was supposed to be the next big thing.
Yeah.
Maybe he still will be. We don't know.
Yeah.
But it doesn't look like it right now.
Well, some goalies take a long time to develop it to be an NHL goalie. It's not just athleticism; it's the mind game too.
Yeah, it's even if you look at a goalie like Corey Crawford, he was still drafted mid-second round. He was still projected to be a top goalie.
Yeah,
but he was in the minors and like building up his mental game. Well,
and some guys they don't even get the chance to be a starting goalie.
Yep.
Like they can't be a backup goalie. Like these guys are starting goalies in junior, in the European leagues. They play all the time, and then they have to go be a backup or share time. They just can't. They can't do that. So they're not the journeyman Brent Johnson types.
Yeah. Do they always do this? And we're just looking at highlights right now at the Mem Cup.
Where they carry it?
They're both carrying the cup at the beginning. Marner and Dvorak.
It's because one's a home captain, one's a away captain.
Oh.
They swap. So
that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I like that. That's a little different. It's pretty neat. Good job, London Knights, for winning that. All right, you know what? Again, Tampa Bay, I did not know that they had this much depth.
Yeah.
It's outstanding with all those guys done. We even talked about it. I said 2 weeks before the playoffs, I thought Tampa Bay could reach the finals because of what they've done before, what they can do, what's possible. But when Stamkos went down, when Strowman went down...
Oh, we put so much stock in those guys that
I thought, okay, maybe they can beat Detroit. Maybe, I was thinking. But the Panthers were rolling, and then you had, the Capitals and the Pens on the other side. I just thought, wow, no chance. And 7 games they took the Pens.
Yeah.
And...
The 2 easier series before might have helped them.
Yeah.
Keep up. They didn't get beat up in the previous
But they were still pretty banged up.
Yeah.
Yeah, so... Amazing. They did pretty well, and I don't know. Their cap crunch is really going to kill Yzerman. So whatever he does in this summer and next summer is really going to shape up for his team for the future.
Well, I think Stamkos came out and said he wanted to be a Lightning.
Well, he did, but doesn't everybody say that?
Yeah.
Everybody says that. Yeah. Like the Raptors, they had a great run too. We just saw in Toronto, and DeRozan obviously says, "I'm going to stay." Like, what else is he going to say? He's probably going to go to Lakers or something. Same thing with Stamkos. He's got to say it. He's the face of the franchise still.
Yeah.
He's going to say it, but how can they keep him under the cap? It's impossible. It's really impossible unless they go ahead and trade a guy like Johnson and Kucherov and not resign Ben Bishop and go with maybe Vasilevsky, right?
Yeah.
And go with him then. A lot of moving parts. All these guys are RFAs mostly, so little hope there. But still, they're all going to deserve big raises this summer or next summer. So I don't know where it looks like right now. But with the Pens, it looks good. And the cap crunch, they look pretty good in there, right? All these young guys stepping up, like Rust in the last game. How'd you like his game, Paul?
Yo, Rusty's been unbelievable this whole playoffs, and he's finally finding chemistry with Malkin. They've been playing with him, and finally he's figured out how to play with Malkin. You can just see that he's doing what Malkin wants a winger to do, is just give me the puck, go to the net. Give me the puck, go to the net.
So
he became the Game 7 hero. Just like Maxime Talbot, 2009.
And now Talbot's going to the KHL.
Yeah.
That's an update for Max Talbot. Signs a 1-year contract.
Yeah, if anybody wanted to know what Max Talbot was doing today.
Good for Rusty and his boys. So, Pens are going to the finals. Let's talk about the other series now. Blues and Sharks. Sharks win in 6. You had Sharks, right, Paul?
Yeah, I did.
And I picked the Blues just because I liked them more. But yeah, the Sharks, they just look so dominant out there.
Yeah.
There's no real flaws to their game, is there?
Oh, they're so deep.
You got a great defensive defenseman in Vlasic, an offensive juggernaut in Burns, and the rest of the defense just sits in really well. They play a good system, and they're fast and offensive at the same time.
Yeah, when Peter DeBoer came in as coach, I had a feeling they were going to be a much better team in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And he interviewed with Joe Thornton and was like, you guys are a playoff team. Like, you guys are a Stanley Cup team. Like, I'm going to make you guys realize that there's no curse. You guys can't win in the playoffs. And he's showing it, that he came in and changed the whole mindset of the team. So
that really helped. It must have helped a lot because they looked like they were in turmoil. I had them at the beginning of the season just maybe going into the playoffs, but they played pretty well all season, steadily.
Yeah, their power play is unreal.
Top. One of the top best. They're outstanding. All those guys are offensive powerhouses, starting with Little Joe and Thornton, all those guys. Couture. And again, like I said, sometimes it's a good thing when you're injured you miss half a season.
Yeah.
You are way more fresh for the playoffs. Couture's looks great. And Marleau has been fine. That's, maybe Marleau was never meant to be the number one guy on a team.
Yeah.
And he's fitting in well as that second line offensive type guy. And the rest of the team's playing really well.
Joel Ward is awesome.
Joel Ward is clutch.
Yeah.
This guy, how can you not love Joel Ward? He's scoring all the big goals. If you look at his production in the playoffs for his whole career, it's almost like double compared to what he does during the season.
Yeah.
It's hilarious. He's amazing.
Jonas Donskoy. He's going to be he's going to be a great player.
Hurdle, he's filling in well as a depth type guy that can still put in goals. When he first came, it was like about 2 years ago. Everybody thought, he's going to score so many goals. He stepped up so well, and then he had that injury. But he's still filling in well on like a third line and doing really well. So, good team, good depth. It was a great series. And again, I feel bad. See Backes, his interview?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I don't think he's coming back to St. Louis.
You don't think so?
The way he was talking, it seemed like he was moving on. His time was up.
Because how well he played during the playoffs, I'd be shocked to see him make less than $6 million.
Yeah, and I would not pay him that. So.
And I wouldn't pay him that at the same time, right? So I don't know where he's gonna land, but he's gonna get his payday. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But it's iffy. That's the first time he's played that well. I'm a big fan of St. Louis, and I've always liked them going in the playoffs. They've always had matchups against the Hawks and the Kings and stuff, so it's heartbreaking to see them lose in the first round usually, sometimes second round. But Backes finally stepped it up this year. He was never even, he was an average half a point per game in the playoffs. This year, he killed it. He showed that he was even better than Tarasenko. He was the leader on that team.
Yeah, Tarasenko disappeared in the third round.
In that round, yeah. He was excellent versus the Hawks. He was pretty solid versus Dallas. It just kind of kept on disappearing more and more as the playoffs gone on. And same thing, Brian Elliott, maybe. He was outstanding in the first round and two. And the third round against the Sharks, he had some weaker goals.
Yeah.
Allowed. So, and that was another reason why the Sharks beat the Blues, especially in 6 games. Elliott wasn't as amazing, as outstanding as he was in the first 2 rounds.
Yeah, and then there became a goalie controversy, and they were looking over each other's shoulders, and it's never a good thing.
No, it wasn't. So they'll have question marks going into next season. If Backes moves on, Elliott's another year older, and Allen is maybe ready to be number one. And they thought he might have been, especially when Elliott was down for during the season, right? So, interesting. And here we go with the finals. It's the Penguins versus the Sharks. A lot of people are saying that even if you look at the logos, the Shark has eaten the Penguins logo. Oh, it sure has.
No, I don't think so.
You don't like that? The whole logo thing?
No.
It kind of does look like it, no? They have a similar logo.
Sharks are breaking sticks, and the Penguins are playing with not broken sticks.
Well, the Shark has already eaten the Penguin.
No.
Right? No, you don't like it?
No,
right.
Don't like it.
So, let's go with the forwards of these two teams. It's a toss-up almost, right?
Yeah, I think San Jose's got more depth. Edge. I think they got more depth. But
more offensive depth.
But top-end talent, I think Pittsburgh edges them out with Crosby and Malkin.
You would think so, but offensively, Kessel. Especially if you're looking at the numbers in the playoffs, no. Right? The Sharks have put up a lot more, especially their top guys in this playoffs.
Yeah. Well, their power play's been dynamite, so
yeah,
that helps out their numbers.
I don't know. I think the edge goes to the Sharks in offense, right? You would say it's more of a tie?
Yeah, I would tie. That's a difficult one.
Yeah, and then defense. Again, are you going to go with the Sharks or Letang and his youthful defense? Daly's out. I don't know. We didn't mention it, right? That Daly looks like he's out 4 to 8 weeks, even though he says, I could come back. He's not coming back.
There's no way he's coming back. No. He's done for the season. Just shut him down and be ready for next year.
The defense, I have to give to the Sharks again.
Yeah.
If you look at the numbers in terms of goals scored on the ice as well, they're plus-minus. Outstanding. The way they're playing their system, I don't know. I'm giving another slight edge to the Sharks there as well.
Yeah, I think the Sharks edge that one out.
Burns is insanely good. Letang is great, and Letang is eating up minutes.
Oh, yeah.
Like no tomorrow. Nobody's talking about that. But I don't know. What is he averaging? Almost 30 minutes a game?
Yeah. Remember when Keith did it, and that's all everybody talked about?
Yeah.
Letang does it, and it's like, yeah, whatever.
But the other thing is, Letang's not putting his offensive numbers this playoffs. He hasn't. He's been all right, but hasn't been outstanding as he usually is, especially during the season. So that gives the slight edge to Burns and the rest of his team. Vlasic is so underrated. I love Pickles. He's great. And the rest of the team playing a great system. And then we have the goaltenders. How has Murray played the last few games? Pretty good, you would say? Excellent?
Well, he lost the net in Game 5, was it?
And then Fleury came and couldn't hold on to that win.
Yeah, and I think it was a big wake-up call for Murray that he got his rest. The guy isn't used to playing this many games, this high intensive games.
That many games, everything.
Yeah.
And then you got to give it a lot to Pittsburgh's system and everything. They played really well in front of him. They kept the puck in the Tampa Bay zone a lot for those last two games.
Oh, they outshot him like crazy. It was ridiculous how many shots they put on net.
We don't know how steady and ready Murray is for this final. Really.
He's so calm, cool, collected. Like nothing throws him off his game. So I think I would give the edge to Pittsburgh for the goaltending.
You don't like Jones?
I do really like Jones. It's just Matt Murray, I think, is riding a hotter hand than Jones is.
For me, it's a toss-up because Jones has almost stolen games for the Sharks with his play. Like, when Sharks had a few games where they weren't crazy offensive, they were just very close, he played really, really well. And Matt Murray has, but in my opinion, versus the Lightning, wasn't outstanding, in my opinion. He had a few shakier games in this series, especially nearing the end of versus the Capitals, too. It was close. He was amazing versus, the Rangers there.
Washington.
Versus Washington, a couple games, and especially versus the Rangers at the end.
Yeah.
He outbattled Lundqvist. It was outstanding and great to watch this young kid come out of nowhere and outbattle Lundqvist.
Yeah.
But as this playoffs has gone, he's not as outstanding, in my opinion. So we'll see. Like I said, I think it's 50-50. Murray can still turn into that outstanding goaltender as he was earlier in the playoffs. But Jones as well has shown that he can be great. He hasn't had any bad games, in my opinion.
Well, his second round was not that great against Nashville. He had some pretty
It's hard to
games.
compare him against Pekka Rinne, though.
Yeah.
Rinne might have been the best goalie in this whole playoffs, right? He was outstanding. Because of him, they beat the Ducks, and because of him, they almost beat the Sharks. So it's hard to compare Jones versus Rinne, but they're both good, great goalies, and they're both very young. So this is pretty cool to see in the finals.
Yeah.
So what do you have? I guess you have the Pens in 6. Is that your guess, Paul?
I'm gonna say they're doing it in 5.
Wow.
Yeah. I thought 6, but then I was like, no, I'm confident. Let's do it in 5.
Yeah,
do it at home on home ice.
I have no clue. I really have no clue who's going to win this series. I give an edge to the Sharks in almost all the categories.
So you're going Sharks in 7 games.
Yeah, I don't
3
know.
overtimes.
I'm thinking just because the way the Sharks have played all playoffs, I'm going to go on their side, even though I'm more leaning toward the Pens in terms of favoritism. But I'm gonna go with Sharks in 6-7 games. That's my ruling on that. But how do you like this schedule, Paul? You love it, don't you?
No, I hate it.
We haven't had any games in like 4 days now?
Yeah.
How many days have the Sharks been off?
Since last Monday, I think.
A week.
Yeah. And it's not even like they were worried that one went long and one went short. Like, both series finished 6 and 7 games.
This makes it less appealing as me, especially as a Canadian fan. Again, they want more American cash. But so many days off in between, I'm going to get lost. The Blue Jays are on fire. I might watch more Blue Jays, what day are they playing again? There's 3 days off here. I'm going to go out and the weather's beautiful outside. I'm going to go and do something,
Well, and Game 1 is going up against OKC and
Game 7?
And yeah, Golden State Game 7. So there goes all of San Jose's fan base.
Yeah.
I
don't know what's going on with the scheduling. It's just the timing of it.
And then between travel times, they get 2 days.
Why? What's going on here?
I don't know. They're treating these guys like divas right now.
And again, it's better when you know. So, game, day off. Game, day off. You kind of have an instinct of, okay, I know when they're playing now.
Yeah.
But no, and again, it's hard for the finals, too, when there's no real rivalry. You're playing against another conference team, a team you barely play during the season. You need something to build a storyline to, and it helps when there's more consistency in the schedule.
Yeah, I think. What if it only goes 5 games? We'll have hockey done by June 9th.
Yeah,
that's pretty wild. I'm all right with that. Hockey doesn't need to go into mid-June.
Yeah, it doesn't need to.
No.
I'm already out of it as a Leaf fan, and I love watching the first round, second round. It's dragging for me, especially with my hockey pool. Paul is doing really well. Good job, Paul.
Thank you.
I think last we checked, I think you're 18 points out of second.
Yeah.
The first guy, congratulations, John, if you're listening, but you probably aren't. He destroyed it. He has almost all Pittsburgh and San Jose. I don't know how he knew it, but he did it. So he's above and beyond killing it.
Yeah, I think he has 4 Sharks and 5 Sharks and 3 Penguins, or 4 Penguins. Yeah.
So he destroyed it. And his other picks were, he had 5 Sharks, 3 Penguins, I believe, and then he had Backus out of nowhere. Well, that was his enforcer pick, so it wasn't the greatest.
Yeah.
And he even picked Tavares, so that was a good pick as his late pick. But you did well, and again, you picked Sharks and Pens lot.
Yep.
So
3 Penguins, 3 Sharks,
but
I believe.
Were those your 1 and 2 going into the playoffs? They weren't really, right?
No, I wanted to go with Dallas, but I ended up drafting Seguin and I think just Seguin.
Yeah.
And Ben. No, I had Ben too. So I went with Dallas, the San Jose, and Pittsburgh. And then I went with a goalie, Luongo, for some stupid reason. It was just random.
Brutal.
And the reason why was because I didn't think the Sharks would go as far as they've gone.
Yeah.
And they're as soon as Jones faltered, Reimer is a great backup, so I didn't want that. Fleury was hurt, so.
Oh yeah, my dad has Fleury. He's still killing me about that. If my dad had Fleury though, he still wouldn't have done as well because of some other guys picking San Jose. So.
Yeah. And then my other team was Dallas, and there's no way you're picking one of those 2 goalies, so I went with a random Luongo.
But again, you did pretty well picking Sharks and a lot of Sharks and Pens players.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. It's going to be great. It should be a pretty offensive final, no? There should be quite a bit of goals.
Yeah, like my bracket said, 55 goals in the final series. That is absurd.
That was hilarious. When you showed me that, I was dying of laughing, and you didn't understand why.
But, and then I looked at the average goals scored per round, so I think they both are the 2 top goal-scoring teams in the playoffs.
That
makes
is correct.
sense.
That's what I said.
And
it could be a lot of goals.
Their average gets them to 48 goals, I think, for a 7-game series. So,
7 games.
So I only need 7 extra goals.
I think you only need 8 games. If this series goes 8 games, Paul, you got it.
Yes.
All right. So
you know what's really cool? I'm really excited that the Penguins have a chance to win the Cup, but I've followed San Jose as a West Coast team for 2 or 3 years pretty closely. They're my West Coast team that I choose to watch late at night. Mm-hmm. So I'm pretty excited about this final. This is pretty much a dream come true.
You'll only cry for like half an hour if the Sharks beat the Penguins. All right. Let's get into the World Cup rosters. They all look pretty good, but if we're going through Canada first, my question marks are Jake Muzzin. Why is he there? Is it just because he plays with Doughty?
No, they needed a left-handed defenseman.
And that's why, if we're going to snubs, we'll talk about it a little bit later, and that's why Letang and Subban aren't there?
Yeah, because they picked Pietrangelo over Subban and Letang. So I still think they're snubs because I think either of them should have been there over Alex Pietrangelo.
Yeah.
Especially after, I don't think he played a very good series against the Sharks.
Yeah, he wasn't that good. He did. He played a lot of minutes though.
Yeah, there were times where he just didn't look like he knew what he was doing on the ice, which is bad because he is a great defenseman. But
yeah,
I think Subban or Letang deserve it more. But Subban's in the doghouse of Team Canada for some, like Hockey Canada. I don't know what he's done or if he said something or...
This year, in my opinion, he shouldn't have been named. He wasn't that outstanding this season specifically.
No, but you got to think the Hockey Canada is building this team to build an Olympic team, right? Like,
so Letang, I'd rather have Letang before Subban.
I know, and then maybe they're thinking they don't want an injury, maybe. Mm-hmm. Like he's more injury prone than Pietrangelo, so
yeah,
I don't know. There's a stigma that Letang can't play defense, and he's not the best defensive defenseman, but he can play defense.
Yeah,
he's playing 30 plus minutes in Stanley Cup Finals. Like he can play defense. If he couldn't play defense, then he wouldn't be playing that much.
I like Seabrook as well, and he fits in well as a good depth defenseman anywhere. But again, he plays well with Keith, so
yeah.
I wouldn't have minded him being on the team either. I love it. Brad Marchand's on the team, though. He deserves it.
Yeah, he had a pretty good World Championship. So
yeah, he was outstanding this season for the Bruins. And he had a great championship tournament for Canada. He deserves it.
Yeah.
So, why not Corey Perry? Is it?
Yeah, I know. He got the
to
triple.
me that I know maybe he's not a snub per se because his season wasn't the best and he started off pretty slow, but he picked it up pretty well. He was kind of invisible and I didn't like him during that first round of playoffs, but he played great in the tournament.
Yeah.
For Canada.
Yeah.
And it's very weird because when I think Team Canada, I automatically think, oh yeah, Getzlaf and Perry, they're there. Yeah. It just seems very odd that Perry's not on Team Canada. I'm not a huge Perry fan. Again, I think he's dirty as well a lot. But he just fits in really well with Team Canada's lineup. It's just kind of odd that he's not there. It just seems weird.
Yeah, he's just got the triple gold club.
Yeah.
Joined the club this year, so
yeah.
That's pretty cool, but I guess they didn't really want him. But who would you take off if you were putting Perry on? Like that's the thing with Canada. Like they're
all great. They're all great players.
And I think Marchand took his spot.
What about Matt Duchene? I don't know. He's a great player. He's outstanding, but
he had a pretty good Olympics for Team Canada. So
yeah, I don't know. Perry has always been good for Team Canada,
and he brings a lot of speed. He brings a lot more speed than Perry. So,
but again, is that what they want out of a guy who's going to be maybe playing third, fourth line minutes? Right? Yeah. I don't know. Perry's fit in really well anywhere you put him on for Team Canada. And he can play a pretty gritty game as well. It's tough to say. But yes, they're all outstanding. Joe Thornton finally getting on this roster is great as well.
Yeah.
I'm glad to see him there.
The Jake Muzzin is just...
Yes, it's peculiar.
It's peculiar. It's awesome because he's from my hometown and went to my high school, so that's pretty cool. Little shout out, but... I saw that when they named the teams and was like, what? Like, that, no. He's not in that. Brent Burns, Drew Doughty, Duncan Keith, Jake Muzzin, Alex Pietrangelo, Mark-Edward Vlasic. Like, he doesn't fit in that elite group.
Yeah, it's odd. All right, let's talk about Team USA. They went, maybe a little younger, a little faster, maybe.
Yeah.
Justin Abdelkader?
Oh,
a lot of people aren't fans of him. Maybe they want him as a grinding, hard-hitting...
Don't even get me started on
fourth-line guy? I don't know. But they put in Backes. He had a good playoff run. And they got in these guys like Dubinsky, Callahan, Backes. A bit more of a tougher lineup.
Yeah, and leadership. A lot of leadership there.
So instead of going out with guys like Phil Kessel.
Yeah, snubbed.
Wow.
That's got to be the big one.
If you were to name the best American players out there, who'd you say? Patrick Kane's number one?
Yeah, Pavelski.
And Pavelski's number two? Or is Kessel number two?
No, I think Pavelski's a better player.
Overall?
Yeah.
Overall, maybe. As a scoring machine?
Pavelski's a scoring machine. He just doesn't have flashy goals like Kessel coming off the wing.
Is Pavelski faster than Kessel?
No. But that dude is clutch.
But Pavelski scores bigger goals than Kessel?
Yeah, he can pick up a team and put it on his back. He can carry a team. Kessel can't carry a team.
Pavelski's a true top number one on the team.
Yeah.
Kessel's a number two.
Yeah.
So Pavelski is number two, and then Kessel will be number three. And Kessel's not on this team.
Yeah,
it's good that they have Kessler on there, though. You need that guy to kill penalties. No? He's not better than Kessel? Yeah, I guess not.
Dubinsky is an odd one.
Yeah.
That's the one that... Well, Abdicator stands out, and how he got named to the team firsthand.
Like, Kessel's done a lot, even for Team USA, specifically.
Yeah.
And he's not there. Even... It's James Van Riemsdyk is there. Is he better than Kessel? Is that what they want? They want more guys that are a bit more physical? It looks like it. Derek Stepan, JVR, and these guys. So I guess they just want more muscle on this team.
How about the back end? Not a lot of flash to that back end.
But
it's hard-working guys. Like
it's the best that they've got, in my opinion. How old is Justin Falk? Would he be more on... He wouldn't be on North America, right? He's too old to be on North America. He should have been on Team USA.
I think so.
So it's kind of odd that he's not there. He's a great, underrated, maybe, defenseman. And he could have been there over some of the guys. But this is a good defensive lineup for Team USA. Out of all the American defensemen that they have out there, Bufflin's great.
Carlson's great.
Yep. McDonough and Suter are stalwarts on the back end.
Yeah.
So that's pretty good. But yeah, could have had some different guys.
Niskanen's an odd one. Niskanen's odd. He's an interesting one. I think I would take Falk over Niskanen, but Falk is 24, so he should be on the North America team.
Yeah. He should be on Team North America, am I right? Yeah. So that's kind of odd. Let's go to them now. Again, let's finish off with Team USA. What about their goaltenders? Fantastic.
Yeah.
They could be one of the best goaltending tandems among three goaltenders. They're the best, maybe.
Yeah, who are you starting? Bishop, Quick, or Schneider?
If Bishop is healthy, I'm going to go with Bishop right now.
Really? I'd go Schneider.
Yeah, you're a big Schneider fan, eh?
Yep.
All right. Well, the young guys, Team North America. Let's finish up over here. Dropping bottles. All right.
You drinking over there?
Well, just a bottle of Coke.
Oh.
It's the team looks great. All these kids look fantastic. The future of the NHL looks amazing.
Oh yeah.
Who would you not want on this lineup. Maybe JT Miller. I don't know. They all look great to me.
I like to just scan through the list and just who doesn't fit. Like what name doesn't fit?
And that's JT Miller, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think so.
Couturier is great, and he's already a good, third line center
guy. Yeah,
he's great at that. And you have that Drouin stepped up huge in the playoffs.
Yeah,
obviously deserves to be there. Eichel's great. The whole team.
Nugent Hopkins maybe is.
Yeah, they just added him at the end.
Him or JT Miller.
And how is Galchenyuk not on this team?
Well, you got to play Austin Matthews.
Well, you could have had.
I'm excited that they put him on the team.
Oh yeah, he deserves to be on this team. He's outstanding. But yeah, I don't know, Galchenyuk. I would have rather had him on this team than the Nuge or JT Miller.
But who's putting the team together?
Who's putting the team together? The Oilers GM?
Yeah.
Chiarelli?
If he snubbed him, then that looks bad on the Oilers. If he picks him, it looks bad on him.
Take out JT Miller. I don't know.
Yeah.
Scheifele, man. Scheifele's so underrated. He's a great player,
too. He's so good, yeah.
It would be pretty cool to see these kids win the tournament. Wouldn't you? I'd be laughing.
Yeah, can this be Jablam's favorite team?
Yes.
Yeah, we're going to cheer for these guys.
For sure.
Yeah.
We're going Team North America all the way. These kids, the depth on the defensive part of the line, they're outstanding. They added Ghost Bear at the last second. Adding him at the last second is outstanding.
Yeah, that's such a big...
You have Ekblad. He can eat up 30 minutes a game. He's already, pretty much the heart and soul of the Florida Panthers. And then the rest of these guys are great. Morgan Riley...
Adding Parayko.
Amazing. Just amazing.
Yeah. It's going to be fun. This team's going to be fun.
Yes.
Even their goaltending. Their goaltending's so...
And who are you going to go with there? You're going to go with Matt Murray then, I guess?
I think so, but I think they'll go Hellebuck just because he's played... they don't have any denomination with their country, so... Hellebuck's played for Team USA in a bunch of tournaments and juniors, and... I think Matt Murray's played his way into a starting role here.
Mm-hmm.
If he leads the Penguins to the Cup, he's starting. He's the number one on this roster over Hellebuck and Gibson.
Oh yeah, if the Pens win the Cup, he's got to be.
The beginning of this year, if you saw this lineup at the beginning of this year, you would say Gibson's starting.
Yeah,
but Hellebuck and Murray they're much better goalies.
Okay, so are any of these guys having any summers? If Matt Murray wins the Cup and then he goes to this tournament, these guys, that's why I'm kind of maybe Phil Kessel or Jaromir Jagr, as we're going to talk about his team. Maybe a few of them said no because they're playing deep into the playoffs.
Yeah,
and then they got this in September.
Well, Kessel needs a hot dog season, doesn't he?
Oh,
no,
come on. There's no time off for these guys. That's for sure this year. That's why I'm thinking this tournament might not be as exciting. Maybe they're not going to put the whole 110% like they usually do in the Olympics, right?
I want to know why they just went Team North America and they didn't do Team Young Guns or something, and go the full world.
Full world. Well, I think that's because they have a Team Europe. I think that's what kind of hurt them on doing that kind of thing.
I still think they could have done Team Young Guns because Laine would have been on this team.
So how do you like Team Russia? Slava Voinov named to the defensive lineup?
Yeah, and then they said he was banned.
What's going on with this? This is crazy. So why would you even think about adding him to the lineup? Well, I don't know.
Didn't he play in World Championships? I'm pretty sure he did.
He did, eh?
Yeah.
Wow. And this is more NHL based, right?
So
it's a tough one.
Yeah,
they still have a great lineup, and they didn't name either of Kovalchuk and Radulov.
Yeah.
So I like Shipachev, right? He played really well in the tournament.
Yeah, and Dadonov played pretty well.
Yeah, so that's good that they were added to the lineup.
Ivan Teligan is such a depth guy. He just can block shots like crazy.
I don't know, but Nemestikov is the only question mark for me on this.
Yeah.
Especially the forwards. he was okay for the Lightning, but still, he's even on the Lightning.
Yeah,
he's made the finals.
He's
still
the guy.
not.
He's the guy that stands out on this list.
So that's peculiar.
Their defensemen are just weak.
Yeah, their defense is not the greatest. I even think Zaitsev, who the Leafs just signed, might be considered one of their best ones.
Yeah.
On the back end, and that's not a good sign.
No.
Like, Markov is older now.
Orlov is interesting in his own end.
Like,
Voinov isn't going to play.
Yeah, Emelin not coming off a good season.
Yeah.
Too, so.
And then goaltending is stellar.
Their goaltending's great. Like,
Bobrovsky and Varlamov, and then the young gun Vasilevsky. Yeah.
They look great.
Yeah.
You can't go wrong with any of them. All right, let's go to Sweden. The question mark on there is, how did Klingberg not get picked?
I have no idea.
That's really weird. But the thing is, and I've said this before, and we talked about it before when they were first named, the main guys. Sweden has probably one of the best defensive teams in the world.
Yeah.
You can go deeper than what they have here, and it'll still be great.
Yeah.
All these guys are outstanding.
Are they a better defensive core than Team Canada?
If they play their system, which is what they usually do, I don't know. They could be better. It's tough to say. Offensively, other than Carlson, Canada's probably better.
Oh, really? With Hedman and Ekman-Larsson? Like, oh, man.
Ekman-Larsson had an outstanding season this year. He's so underrated, and he's one of my favorite. He has been since juniors.
I think as a whole defensive core, I think they rival Team Canada.
Yeah, they're outstanding.
Yeah, they got a couple of guys that can play with the puck, like Carlson and Hedman and Ekman-Larsson. Hedman had a great playoffs. He really showed his...
Hedman's solid. Ekholm was good in the championships, right?
Yeah. He was good with the Predators, too.
Oh, yeah. They've very... I will say, they're probably underrated for how good they are.
Yeah.
So, it's tough who's better versus them in Canada, but maybe we'll see in this tournament.
And then we got a lot of Bergs. We got a lot of Bergs on forward. Forsberg, Silverberg, Zoderberg, Zetterberg. So many. Crazy Swedes. Zetterberg named to the team. That's...
You don't like it? Because he's getting older there and there? He wasn't
he's getting older. Yeah,
more invisible in the playoffs.
He's slowing down. I would like him to have a full off season.
Yeah. Why, you want the Red Wings to go far next year?
No, just I like Zetterberg as a player, and I think he needs an off season to get healthy and refreshed. And
well, they might not play him that much, right? Maybe he's not going to play that much.
Yeah, maybe.
You have the Sedins, and you got Philip Forsberg and Nicholas Backstrom. You got some great players that can in the first two lines.
Yeah, Sweden's going to be a pretty good team.
And you got speed with Hagelin. You got good depth and grinding guy like a Kruger.
And Hornqvist.
Yeah, very good team.
Yeah.
I don't know how far they can go, but with that defense...
And King Hank in net.
And Hank in net, it's great.
Playing for his country, so...
Yes, and he's usually done pretty well for them.
Yeah.
You still have question marks with how good Markstrom is, or even Robin Lehner. A lot of expectations out of them. And this is probably one of the worst, if you think about, for backups for the whole tournament.
Yeah.
But Hank is there, and if he plays the way he can steal you even a tournament.
Yeah.
So Finland.
Finland is turning into hockey country. They are...
Patrick Laine is on Finland.
Yeah.
Woohoo! A lot of young guys on this team.
Sebastian Aho made the team.
Aho's awesome. On this team. Donskoy, Barkov.
Halla.
Amazing.
Halla.
The defense. Yorki Paka.
Yeah.
Mata.
Yerky, he mixed his name. Yerky Paka. Yoki Paka.
Oh, yeah, with the first name and the last name. Yeah. But Ristolainen, one of my favorite guys, Ristolainen.
Yeah.
Such a young team.
Yeah. Their defense is young. Who's their oldest guy? Sammy Lepisto?
Maybe. And he's fairly young too.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Maybe Vatanen.
But I think they're trying to build something here.
Yeah.
I think they want to build a core.
Well, then they have...
So they could be... They might not be the best team in this tournament.
No, but Finland plays so well together as a team.
As a unit, they do. But if you're looking at the future, they could be one of the best juggernaut teams for the future, right?
Yeah, they're putting experience. I don't think they really care about this tournament. They care about...
they're building for the future, for the next Olympics.
Yeah.
Future.
Yeah. Give these guys experience wearing the Finnish flag.
You got Yulievi, right? Who could be on the Olympic team maybe in the future.
Yeah.
And my guy that I love that's going to be drafted 3rd overall. What's his name again? Puljujärvi. That's it. This team could be insanely good.
Who disappeared? What happened to Puljujärvi? It used to be a 3-headed race for the top 3, and now...
Yeah, because he didn't really play in the tournament, right?
He didn't play in World Championships. He didn't make the team.
That hurt him.
Yeah.
That hurt him a lot.
But he killed the under-18 tournament when he showed up.
Yeah,
after
he was outstanding.
League of playoffs.
And maybe he should be on this team instead of like an Eric Holla.
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
You know? But again, you want the leaders and the grinders to be in there. Komarov's, he was great in the tournament for Finland. Komarov was great in the tournament. You know, and then you're adding guys, more veteran guys like Filppula and Lehterä. It's a pretty good team.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think they can. It'll be interesting to see how far they can go because they usually play like a good team unit. But I don't know. They're still very young. We'll see what happens.
I like that they brought Koskinen as a goalie in behind Rask and Rene. Not even probably going to play, but
no. But he had
bring him for the experience.
He had a good tournament for them in the championships.
Yeah.
But Rene will probably get the number 1.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, who else are we want to talk about? A little bit. Czechs, Yager said no. So they got these guys in there. You got Sabatka coming in from the KHL. But you got some of the older guys. This team looks like it could be one of the lower teams in the tournament, right?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
You got Milan Mahalik, who's past his due date, maybe in there. But you have some younger guys, too. Voracek is coming off
Pasternak.
Not a great season. Pasternak's, he's pretty young.
Yeah.
Hurdles in there.
Dmitry Yaskin, Radek Faksa, all pretty young guys.
Yeah, a lot of young guys in there.
Gudis is going to kill somebody.
But he won't get suspended, though. He might kill somebody, but he won't get suspended.
Yeah. Michael Jordan decided to hang up his...
Oh, my God. You're going to make that joke?
What do basketball players hang up? Their jersey? Their laces?
Yeah, their laces.
Oh.
They're knickerbockers.
Just their laces. They don't do the full shoe?
No. Just the laces.
Oh.
So you got Polak in there. Schuster was so underrated for the Lightning.
Yeah.
So he's there, and he could be considered maybe their best defenseman.
And then who are you starting? Mrazek, Neuwirth, and Pavlik.
Neuwirth was really good at the end of that series in the first round.
Yeah.
So
I think I would start Mrazek.
Mrazek, probably, yeah. He's been a full-time guy.
He had a pretty
for a while.
good year this year. Yeah.
All right, and I guess that only leaves us Europe, right?
Yeah, good old Team Europe. Playing for what flag?
I don't know, but I really want them to do well, just to see, like, when they play the anthems. Are they going to play the anthems at the beginning of the game? Maybe at the end?
All of them.
I don't know, but I want to see like DJ Skrillex or somebody like remix all their anthems or something.
Yeah,
that'd be
awesome.
Hilarious and outstanding. But no, they have a pretty good team. I don't know. Gaborik hasn't been that good this year, and they just named him.
It's interesting they picked like from every other country.
Yeah.
Like every country is.
Well, I think that was the plan, right? We got to make sure all these countries are kind of like in there.
Really, they were like, we got to make sure France is in there.
Yep.
Pierre-Edouard Bellemare making the team. All right.
Got to do it.
All
Bellemare's on the team.
PE, let's do this. And Luca Sabisa from Italy. Why the heck do they care if Italy's there?
No, he's Switzerland.
No, it says on Sportsnet, Italy.
I have him from Switzerland, so I don't know what drunk person wrote it for you over there at Sportsnet. Somebody at Sportsnet needs to, lay off the drink.
That's amazing.
It's Visa's from Switzerland.
That's amazing.
Anyways.
It makes more sense, Switzerland, but...
Yes, it's Switzerland.
A lot of Swiss on the back end then.
Yeah, but...
the Swiss, German, Slovakian back end.
Yeah, it is what it is. Hey, you know what? All these guys are pretty good, especially on their back end. Chara, Yoshi, Strike.
Yoshi.
Sakara.
Sekara.
Hey, I'm not the one calling.
No, don't even.
You don't want me to say it?
No.
Okay,
Sekara.
Yeah. But anyways, it's still a good team. They're still going to be entertaining to watch with Zuccarello and Kopitar. Even like guys like Draisaitl.
Yeah.
They have some good entertaining players.
Yeah, Bellemare will ride the pine.
Yeah. He's the odd man out. Easily.
Yeah.
So, that's that. All right, Paul, do you have any little update for us for some Jablam Junior Hockey?
Just that the London Knights won the Memorial Cup. As we were recording this,
Woohoo! Mitch Marner is the greatest.
Yeah, he won everything. Everything he could win, he won. I was on the return him to the London Knights next year, and now just he won everything. So, what do you do with him?
You know what? I know there's so many young guys that want to play on the Leafs right now that are in the Marlies, and we just saw the Marlies lost, so they're out.
Yeah.
But hey, they're basically third best in the HL this year, right?
Yeah, they should have been.
During the season.
They should have been.
But there's so many good young kids now on this team, and maybe they're ready, maybe they're not. I'd rather the Leafs maybe tank it again and have more veterans on the lineup. But I don't know. How can you not have Marner on this Leaf lineup for next season? How can you not? He's accomplished everything you can.
Yeah, but then you want to bring him into a losing team that you're hoping tanks?
I guess. I don't know. I think we were talking about this before. Like, can't you loan a guy? You should be able to loan a guy to Europe. Matthews played there basically last year. I know it was before he was drafted.
Yeah, but there's no rights involved. So
I don't know. It would be cool if you could loan a guy there.
But then what happens if he gets hurt? That
they should just change. They should change the rules for guys that have accomplished everything you can in junior hockey. They should be able to spend one season.
But see, they're going to have this exception rule. It's just like the OHL has an exception rule because Tavares and Ekblad and then Sean Day. And it was like, we didn't need to be in the exceptional class. And then they kind of made it seem like, we just pick one guy every year just because we want that exceptional status involved. Mm-hmm. So I don't want it to be like that. I don't want it to be a gimmick.
Yeah.
But this may be the new wave to make this change. Because what are they supposed to do with Marner? Send him back and tell him to get bigger, I guess, but...
It's harder to, especially when you're...
But then what happens if he plays as a Leaf and he gets hurt like RNH got hurt in his first year, or McDavid got hurt in his first year, I'm
looking more as like the Hawks. Kane went there and he played.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
He went straight, he played for the Hawks, and he didn't really have many problems, right?
Yeah, so...
He did well, and yes, it took him a while to get this good as he is now, but again, he was still pretty good, right? So,
yeah,
he was flashy.
It's a tough debate, and there's so many people on both sides.
Especially where the Leafs are right now with so many young guys that are ready to step in the lineup too. That's the other thing. I don't know if you only have those options. In my opinion, how can you not leave them on the Leafs lineup?
Yeah,
in my opinion. And again, there's maybe Austin Matthews coming, right, or Line A. So that's another guy that's stepping over all these other guys that maybe look like they're ready.
And they have a lot of contracts. They got a lot of young guys.
Is Nylander ready now to step in the Leafs lineup as well, right?
I would think so, yeah.
And then a few of those other guys, people think like Hyman, Shashinkov, and etc. So it'll be interesting. It'll be a good off season, maybe, and we're gonna have this. We're gonna have a few episodes in the off season. If I haven't mentioned yet, we are only going to be doing about one episode every 2 weeks from now after the playoffs are done. Our main episodes, check them out. We'll have a special NHL entry draft episode, a special free agency episode. And we'll talk about these changes that the Pens will go through now. They might have some guys that they need to re-sign or move. And the Leafs too. If Matthews comes, where is Stamkos going? If he ends up somehow on the Leafs, you got to move some guys.
Yeah.
They just locked up Kadri.
Yeah.
Does that mean Bozak has to be moved? In my opinion, he has to be moved.
Yeah.
You got too many centers coming in with maybe an Austin Matthews and a Nylander and so on and so forth. So where are you going to put Kadri, right? So a lot of question marks, and it'll be an interesting summer for some of these teams.
Yeah.
And then, so what else do we have maybe in the next episode or in the future episodes? We're going to talk more about the finals. We are going to name a playoff All-Stars team per position. And that's pretty much it. And then we will come back and have more steady episodes back for World Cup and camp in September. All right. Until next time. See you guys.
Bye.